Good morning, Lemon Nation. Hello. Can I be like Beyonce and call it the Lemon Hive or the Beehive? I like Lemon Nation. Good morning, everybody. Oh boy, here we are, another day in fresh hell, right? Another day in hell. What's wrong with Chuck Schumer, says Angela Calloway. Well, that is the question. It's not even the question of just what's wrong with Chuck Schumer. People are mad. I mean, yes, that's a big thing. People are really mad at Chuck Schumer, but people are just mad all over the country. And I don't know does anyone care that people are mad? Does it matter? Matters to me. But people really are pissed off. Are you mad as hell? Because I remember we did this mad as hell thing before, and we talked about it. About mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. But where is that going to get us and get anyone? Because it seems that the people who really care about government and people who really care about democracy, I'm pissed at him, says Eric Walker. Ooh. Are you guys all in your feelings today? I give up on the Democrats. Do you guys remember when people were yelling at me saying, stop beating up on the Democrats? I'm pissed at Chuck, says Kim. Wow, people are in their feelings. Okay, well, come on in here. Let's talk about it. Welcome again to Hot Topics. Glad that you're here. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and like, because that does affect the algorithm. More people become aware of our conversation in the channel, because when you do that, the algorithm pushes it out, and then it notifies people that we're here and that we're having this conversation. So this is Matt. Wow. If you are watching us on YouTube, look at these comments. Wow, they're really mad at Chuck. Did you guys really want the government to shut down? Do you think you thought that through? Wow. I don't know if you guys can read these comments, but you guys are mad, absolutely pissed at my New York senators. Oh, well, I think Chuck needs to go. I think a lot of the old leadership needs to go. And people are really mad. Let me just, before I even read this, what I have prepared for you, I just want to give you an example of just how mad people are. And you tell me if you are this level of angry. And there's a little, it's salty. There's some, F-bombs in there and whatever. But you tell me if you are this mad. All right, let's play, producers, let's play this guy is mad as, this is what you call mad as hell. And tell me if you're this level of pissed off. Here it is.
What the fuck? Why are you surrendering to this traitorous dictator and Republicans? Why are you giving away your only leverage that you have by allowing this resolution to pass? Why would you do that? You sitting here talking about, I don't want to shut down the government. The government has already shut the fuck down. 50% of the Department of Education, the employees are gone. He's still continuously threatening people's jobs every motherfucking day. You want to give him a blank check to do what the fuck he wants to do? Why would you do that? And if it's not you, Chuck, that wants to do this, name the motherfucking Democrats so we can get on the fucking phone and call them and tell them to vote no. I do not stand on motherfucking business. What happened between now and from last night? Because last night you said this. Fast forward to today.
I believe it is my job to make the best choice for the country, to minimize the harms to the American people. Therefore, I will vote to keep the government open and not shut it down.
This is the reason why I fuck heavy with the Congressional Black Caucus, because they're the only conscience of our fucking party. Cory Booker said he ain't voting for the motherfucking shit.
I am a no. I will not support what they're calling a continuing resolution, but it's not. It actually is a surrendering of the powers of Congress to the president and Elon Musk. He does not have the power to make spending decisions. Congress does, but not if we pass the CR. This would give them 6 months to do some pretty awful things. We've already seen what they're willing to do to the Department of Education, to the VA, cancer research, and more. And now this literally gives them license to destroy.
Lisa Blunt Rochester said hell to the motherfucking no. Angela Brooke also said she's not voting for the shit. I don't know if it's a color thing, but why is it that it's always on black people to stand on motherfucking business? See, this is the reason why representation fucking matters, because motherfuckers like this will not get the job done. How can you sit here and say that you care about us, but you're selling us to Elon Musk and Donald Trump? I don't see how you can say that you care about Medicaid and you care about veterans and all these other things, but you said that you're going to vote for this shit. What are we doing here? I'm gonna need you to change your motherfucking mind and get these Democrats in gear and vote no tomorrow. We still have time, so hit the phone lines and call up to Congress and tell them to vote no.
Too late. Sorry. Are you that level? Too late. I mean, it's done. It's a done deal. But are you that level of pissed off? The thing is that, again, once again, the Democrats were playing checkers and the Republicans, as always, are playing chess. They didn't realize that Mike Johnson just housed them. Like, he just owned them because he had the vote. He knew he had the votes, and then he sent his people home because he knew that he would leave it to the Senate, and they weren't going to win in the Senate unless they held together. And then what was the option? To close the government. And these older guys, these old folks, and I don't mean in age, some of them in age, but just these folks who have been around for a long time, they are thinking again that it's 1995. So people aren't going to like it if the government is shut down. Then the Democrats, okay, look, maybe they thought it through more than most of us. But here's the thing: when I keep telling you that they need to read the room, that they are selling something that the American people don't want. The 80 million people who voted Democrat or voted for Kamala Harris last time, they want someone who's going to stand up, and maybe they want the government to shut down, because for all of those federal workers that have been laid off or fired, which is a lot of folks, the government is already shut down. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they don't have a job. The government is already shut down. So if you're not going to stand up and make it a standoff and say, okay, fine. Because here's listen to this. Donald Trump has said, I'm doing all of this shit that you may not like. I'm putting tariffs. And if they don't bend, I'm going to make the tariffs even higher. And people go, oh, well, maybe we can negotiate. No, you cannot negotiate. And that's the energy, that matching energy that Democrats want. Okay, fine. Then we'll shut the fucking government down. That's what people want. And they're afraid if we shut the government down, everyone's going to be mad at us. Who's going to be mad at you? Republicans? They aren't going to vote for you anyways. Who's going to be mad at you? The Democrats? No, the Democrats are not going to be mad. So you have alienated both sides of the aisle. Now, should they get, again, before I just want to explain to you what's going on. This is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on the CNN with the Jake Tapper explaining why she broke ranks, or at least she doesn't agree with Chuck Schumer. Watch this.
Chuck Schumer, I guess the Senate Democratic leader, your senator, said at this meeting that he is going to vote for cloture. He is going to vote to allow there to be a simple majority vote. You think that's wrong?
I believe that's a tremendous mistake. Yes.
Why?
I think, well, first and foremost, the American people, if anyone has held a town hall or has seen what has been happening in town halls, American people, whether they are Republicans, independents, Democrats, are up in arms about Elon Musk and the actual gutting of federal agencies across the board. This continuing resolution codifies much of this chaos that Elon Musk is wreaking havoc on the federal government. It codifies many of those changes. It sacrifices and completely eliminates congressional authority in order to review these impulsive Trump tariffs that he's switching on and off. And on top of that, for folks who are concerned about effectiveness in government, this Republican extreme spending bill removes all of the guardrails and all of the accountability measures to ensure that money is being spent in the way that Congress has directed for it to be spent. This turns the federal government into a slush fund for Donald Trump and Elon Musk. It sacrifices congressional authority, and it is deeply partisan. And so to me, it is almost unthinkable why Senate Democrats would vote to hand the few pieces of leverage that we have away for free when we've been sent here to protect Social Security, protect Medicaid, and protect Medicare.
You have.
So there you go. Now, every time I tell someone that is, older, who's not a woman, that, you know, the party needs people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't always agree with her on everything or on policy. I don't. But I like the way she's moving. I like people who aren't afraid to stand up to tyranny. I like people who are willing to break the rules. I never thought that I would find myself in a position that I would be defending Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I'm just being honest. And nothing personal. It's just like, this is all on a policy thing. I think that she's great. She should be on leadership committees, all of that. But I think they need leadership. They need people like her because that is what the people want right now. It's not what the old party wants. It's not what the old folks want. Quite frankly, it's not what the sort of, I call them limousine liberal, MAGA light. And usually that is, to be honest with you, that is white men, straight and gay. That's not, for some reason, they hate Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I don't get it. Or maybe I should I don't know. They're like, oh, no, not her. Well, why not her? I hated what she did with Amazon in New York. Hated it. I was so mad with her about that. But you support people who you disagree with all the time. Other politicians, I don't agree. Like, you know, Chuck Schumer has been doing this shit for years. A lot of the congressional people, the senators, the politicians have been doing things that you disagree with for years. Why do you hate Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? Have you even examined yourself? When I ask them, they're like, I can't stand her. I'm like, well, why? She's too far left. What is left? Tell me what is so far left that she's done. She has no power. No power in the Democratic Party. She has media power, outsized influence in the media and in Republicans' heads. The folks at Fox News use her as a character and a caricature of herself. And not just her. Same thing. They're gonna, you know, Jasmine Crockett. Same thing with other, like she's not Rashida Tlaib. She's not Ilhan Omar. And because she's a woman of color and she sits with those women and she caucuses with them or she strategizes with them, does not mean that she is those women. Like like her policies are exactly not the same. So if she wants to work with those women, what is different than Democrats saying, I want to work with the Republicans, or we need to work with our Republican brothers and sisters who have completely opposite interests of what you want. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? There's some weird hypocrisy here. And again, I thought I would never find myself in a million years defending Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, but there is some weird hang up that certain people have about her that is illogical. It's weird, guys. You guys are weird. Like, she can't be, like, she's too far left. She's a Democrat. Democrats say some of them are going to be left. How many people are as far left as you believe she is and the other folks? Do Republicans say such and such is too far right? Donald Trump or the MAGA people or the crazy or Marjorie Taylor Greene? No, they don't. It seems like Democrats are more willing to work with the MAGA folks, a Marjorie Taylor Greene, than they are with someone like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who actually is intelligent. And if you listen to her, you might understand. She says things that are extremely intelligent and extremely smart and extremely strategic. And then there are other things, okay, I don't agree with her on. Hey, AOC, I don't agree with you on this. Okay, fine. But then why it is this sort of, weird anger. No way. No. Nope, that's not the way to go. Have you even examined that? I'm not saying that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez that her policies should be implemented or whatever. But I think you should listen to her. I think she's a great messenger. Did you listen to her? Just listen to her. I want to play that her again. Well, actually, which one do you think I should play? The one where she's talking to the one with Jake again, because I just want people to listen to her intelligence. She can complete a sentence, her syntax, her, I don't get it. Like, what is it? Is it a racial thing? Is it a woman thing? Are you more willing to work with someone on the other side of the aisle because they're white? I'm serious. I want to know. I don't know. Are you pretending to be like a Democratic ally, but yet supporting far right people? I don't know. It was a very similar thing with when Kamala Harris was like running. I can't stand the woman. Well, what can't you? I don't like her voice. Okay, all right. Do you like RFK Jr.'s voice? Do you like Donald Trump's voice? Like, what the fuck? Do you like RFK? Okay, nobody says, I never heard Democrats complaining about that. I never heard Democrats complaining about, we're going to win. Yeah. His voice. I never hear them complaining about Marjorie Taylor Greene's voice. Why is it with you and the other women, some women in their voices and others not? Like, what the fuck is that? Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent. I just don't understand it. Just like I don't understand when I talked about the people who were, allies, and then all of a sudden they're not. It's bizarre. Now, listen, they caught her out in the hallway, right? I was just sort of going, okay, you guys think it's sexism and racism. Stop playing the race card. But have you guys ever noticed that? Is there anybody out there, man, woman, black, white, gay, straight, Jewish, whatever? Have you ever heard the vitriol that people have for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or even some of they had for Kamala Harris or for Hillary Clinton? And it's always the same kind or type of person. And you're like, what is that? Huh? Have you guys experienced that? Now, they caught her out in the hall. This is not sexy and whatever. It's just her discussing things with someone. Just listen. I mean, she sounds like an intelligent, reasonable person. Listen.
I think there is a deep sense of outrage.
Back it
and
up to the
betrayal.
beginning.
And I think there is a deep sense of outrage and betrayal. And this is not just about progressive Democrats. This is across the board, the entire party. Yeah. There are members of Congress who have won Trump-held districts in some of the most difficult territory in the United States, who walked the plank and took innumerable risks in order to defend the American people, in order to defend Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare, just to see Senate Democrats even consider acquiescing to Elon Musk. I think it is a huge slap in the face, and I think that there's a wide sense of betrayal if things proceed as currently planned.
How will House Democrats and Senate Democrats work together now if there is such a sense of betrayal?
I think that creates a real challenge, and that in and of itself, I think, is part of what makes the leadership of this moment so crucial, because this is a decision about trust. It is a decision about trust and cooperation, because there will be a day where the Senate will need the House to move on something, and if there is an erosion of trust and a breach of trust, such as what is being considered right now, it will make cooperation difficult. And we cannot afford to be in an every person for themselves kind of moment. We need to work together and as a team in order to usher our country through this very dark time.
The point that Senator Schumer has kind of made is, the CR is bad, but a shutdown is worse. So how do you respond to that point?
That is, I cannot understate, I cannot underscore enough how incorrect that is. Because what this does, what voting for this CR does, is that it codifies the chaos and the reckless cuts that Elon Musk has been pursuing. The robbing of our federal government in order to finance tax cuts for billionaires is what is happening, and that is what Senate Democrats will be empowering if they vote for the CR.
Okay, so how is that bad? How can't you stand there and say, okay, well, this is what I agree with you on, this is what I disagree with you on. It's just, that's why I say it is just really, really, really bizarre. Do you guys feel me? Again, make sure we're live on YouTube, we're live on TikTok, we're live on Instagram and Facebook, and then later Apple Podcast, Spotify, and another platform that I cannot remember. Apple, Spotify, and I forget. Sorry, it's Friday and I'm exhausted. So make sure you hit the thumbs up, make sure you hit the likes. The membership link is at the top of the chat, and subscribe. It's right at the bottom of the screen, just below the Don Lemon logo. Which one am I missing, Nikki? Apple, Spotify. Oh, iHeart Radio. iHeart. Sorry, iHeart. Okay, so there we go. Now I want you to listen. This is the energy that is bizarre, because I find Democrats have this same energy around her. This is on Fox News, where you could expect it, but it just shows you sort of the disdain and the sexism and the whatever-ism. Just here we go. You'll see what I'm saying. Make sure you play from the beginning, Andy. I want to get every word of it. Here it is.
And I love when AOC
unquote.
lectures Elon Musk about not being intelligent. I'm like, oh, she's such a genius. You know, I'm inspired by her every word.
You were in the bar. You were in a bar.
Yeah.
You were in a bar, AOC.
Well, that's
Calm
the only
down
thing
and
she
not
and
to
I
have
have
a
in
drink,
common.
to serve one.
Exactly. All right. Alina Habba, thank you. When we come back.
You were in a bar not to have a drink, but to serve one. Who is that dumbass woman? That's Alina Habba. Speaking of not intelligent. Speaking of not intelligent, remember how great she was with all of the criminal and all the charges against Donald Trump. The only reason that he got out of them is because he became president, not from her brilliant legal mind. And the nerve. So you guys see what I'm talking about? What I mean? It is just like some weird shit. And you know what? I shouldn't say it's not even weird. It is what it is. And the thing is that I don't understand how you expect, like, how can you expect someone, if someone is a Democrat, you can expect them to be progressive. They're Democrats. Some Democrats are progressive. Others are not. I don't get the vitriol. I don't get it. It is bizarre that the same woman, that woman speaking out, calling another woman, saying, oh, in the bar, and she's in there to serve a drink, was on the screen with Andrew Tate saying, I'm a big fan, and comparing Andrew Tate to Donald Trump. That's all I'm saying. So it's time to go, Chuck. That's what the people are saying. That is a sentiment, pretty much the only sentiment I have seen on social media this morning. Last night, the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer's decision to back the House-passed government funding measure effectively put an end to a shutdown fight that exposed bitter partisan disputes over federal spending. But the inter-party disputes among Hill Democrats are just getting started. The Democratic base, where most of the money and campaign support comes from, the base is furious, as you have seen. And you saw me giving some examples, and I'll give more. The base is furious. They're slamming Schumer for helping President Donald Trump and the Republicans pass a funding package that most Democrats loathe. So where do we go from here? Where do the Democrats go from here? Where do the people who believe in democracy go from here? Where do the people who believe that, that we should keep the republic that we live in? Where do we all go? The Senate is going to vote this afternoon to overcome a filibuster of the House's continuing resolution, which funds federal agencies through September 30th. Schumer's announcement is expected to unlock the needed Democratic votes to help Republicans advance the funding measure. So, okay, the government will stay open. Open just like the wound that is now the Democratic Party. The House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, and his leadership team distanced themselves from Schumer's decision in a statement on Thursday night. Other House Democrats took direct aim at Schumer, including Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. This is what we have up now. Let's read this Hakeem Jeffries before I move. Leave it up there. Let me read this and then I'll get it. Progressives think Trump is already damaged by the chaotic start to his second term. The stock market is cratering. The public angst over his handling of the economy is growing. Progressives believe a shutdown would have further contributed to the appearance of an out-of-control president and forced Republicans to give in. Now they're out for blood, specifically Chuck Schumer's blood. Metaphorically, I mean, of course. Okay? So this is from Hakeem Jeffries, and that was over. Now listen, Hakeem is saying, Republicans in the Senate should stick together. His guys didn't stick together. So Hakeem, come on now, let's be honest. We strongly oppose the partisan, harmful Republican spending bill. Statement by Leader Jeffries, Whip Clark, Chair Aguilar on the government funding bill in the Senate. Basically saying instead of working with Democrats in a bipartisan way to prevent a government shutdown, House Republicans left town in order to jam their extreme partisan legislation down the throats of the American people. The far-right Republican funding bill will unleash havoc on everyday Americans, giving Donald Trump and Elon Musk even more power to continue dismantling the federal government. And then it went on with more. We remain strongly opposed to the, one more, let me read that bottom line, please, Andy. We remain strongly opposed to the partisan spending bill under consideration in the Senate. It would have been great, Leader Jeffries, if you could have done that and kept at least one Democrat from voting. They voted. The Democrats did not stick together. You're asking the Republicans in the Senate, the congressional Democrats didn't all stick together, except for just one, but still, one is enough in this particular case. Chuck Schumer took to the New York Times to explain how he feels about this. Chuck Schumer, Trump, and Musk would love a shutdown. We must not give them one, it says. Chuck, read the room. I'm just saying. Over the past 2 months, the United States has confronted a bitter truth. The federal government has been taken over by a nihilist. Okay, Chuck, I got that. All right. And then he talks about what happened. They brought to the brink of a disaster unless Congress acts. The federal government will shut down Friday at midnight. Okay? As I have said many times, there are no winners in a government shutdown, but there are certainly victims. The most vulnerable Americans, those who rely on federal programs to feed their families, get medical care, and stay financially afloat, communities that depend on government services to function will suffer. This week, Democrats offered a way out, fund the government for another month to give appropriators more time to do their jobs. Republicans rejected this proposal. Why? Because, okay, so Chuck, let me just say, I understand all that. And we've been through these government shutdowns before. Just say, we don't have the juice. Thank Kim. I didn't even see that. Go back to Kim Spears, please. Congratulations, Chuck. You played yourself. Yes, you played yourself. You have one person on one side. You have Donald Trump on one side saying what? You're going to be a little bit of pain. You got to go through a little bit of pain, which will take years when he says that little bit of pain. And the people on his side are like, yeah, give me the pain. I want the pain. Take away my Medicare. Go ahead, take away my Medicaid. Fire people. Put me on the unemployment line. I don't care if the price of cars go up. I don't care if the price of eggs. I don't care. Yes, give it. Own the libs. And Chuck, 1985 Chuck, or whatever it is saying, yeah, people are going to hurt and suffer. And you say, they're not hurting and suffering because of us. They're hurting and suffering because of the Republican Party, because of Donald Trump. We wouldn't be in this position. Donald Trump needs to respect our democracy, needs to respect the legislature, needs to respect the way government is run, needs to respect federal judges, needs to respect the law, needs to respect the judiciary. And unless we stand up, we will lose all of it. And we cannot afford to lose our country. So I'm sorry. There's going to be some pain, but the pain is not because of me or the Democrats. The pain is because of those people who are running our government right now. Let's be very clear about this. We had no other option except to let them continue to run people over, to run you over, to disrespect you. Disrespect is not actually a word, but I guess it is now. They made it a word. To not respect you, And now we're in a position. So all the people, they're not reading the room. People want them to stand up. And the folks I'm talking to are like, shut it down. Shut it down. Now, maybe they don't know what they're in for shut it down, but I'm just telling you that is what the people want. I'm not calling for a shutdown. I am reading the room and telling you, the folks who are holding up the signs at the fake State of the Union, Donald Trump is bad. Elon Musk is mean. That ain't it, fam. Chuck, you played yourself. And I believe, Hakeem, you played yourself too when you were telling people to be quiet, have decorum. There is no more decorum. There is no more decorum, especially when you have Democratic strategists, former Barack Obama strategist, I think David Axelrod calling Al Green, Congressman Al Green, despicable. Are you fucking kidding me? Not the only one mad. I'm just going to play the beginning of, and I'm going to show you some mad people. And the mad people, here's the weird shit. Here is the weird shit. The mad people are on the Republican side. So it's like, Democrats, what y'all doing? But this is how mad people are. Let's play the woman who was mad at Chuck Schumer, just the beginning of it. She was on TikTok.
I hope somebody is bringing some boxes down to Chuck Schumer's office because he has got to go. You are not the man for this moment, and part of being a good leader is recognizing when it's time to say, this moment is bigger than me, it's bigger than my skill set, it's bigger than my, I ain't got enough heart for this, I'm too scared for this, I'm too old for this, it's time for me to step to the side. That's what needs to happen. But again, that ego be driving these people and getting into these roles they got no business being in because they don't see themselves, you know? As I sit here and watch all this, now a lot of y'all...
She's right. They don't like... Don't get me wrong. I know that these people are strategists, right? They are strategists. They've been there forever, but I think they've been there forever with a forever energy that is no longer applicable. So the folks are saying, Chuck Schumer, GTFO, time to go, brother. The reason that we're in this position now is because of folks like you. The reason we're in this position now, quite frankly, is because of Hakeem Jeffries. I'm sorry. I know folks like that. Don't rock the boat. Don't kick the boat over. Don't rock the boat, baby. Don't kick the boat over. Don't do, that's what they're saying. And that woman, I believe, is spot on about that. Here's another gentleman, short and sweet. Chuck, time to go. Here it is.
Yeah, the Democratic Party is cooked. Chuck Schumer, I saw what you said. John Fetterman, I saw what you said. You guys are little bitches. You guys are going to vote with Republicans on a dog shit piece of fucking legislation to keep the government funded that you had no input on after talking that shit yesterday.
People aren't stupid. Now, there are a lot of people. I spoke to Bill Maher, loves Fetterman. A lot of people, why don't they do what Fetterman is doing? Meaning they want them to move to the right. Okay, that's fine. If you saw what we posted yesterday about, and what I said yesterday about Gavin Newsom and others, was that yesterday? Producers like all the days. Was that yesterday or the day before? I guess that was yesterday. That was yesterday. About Gavin Newsom. Yesterday. Gavin Newsom and Mayor Eric Adams and Tulsi Gabbard. Like whenever there's trouble or whenever they're like, woo, what's the shortest line to get to what I want? We're going to move right and we're going to sort of go and cozy up to the Republicans. Do you ever see Republicans moving left to cozy up to Democrats? Just don't happen. Doesn't happen. So why do Democrats do that? It's a sign of weakness. It is a sign of weakness. Now, this is Chuck Schumer. We're going to let him explain himself. And I want to know if you agree with it. So we have a couple of things, a couple of points from him on why he voted to do what he did. I'm not exactly sure which one we have in the queue.
The Chris Hayes
whichever,
clip?
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But I know the clips, but I'm not sure which one we should play right now. Well, let's play it and then we'll talk about it. I think we have 3 or 4 of him explaining himself. But first of all, let's show him on the floor talking about why he did it, and then we'll show him explaining himself. Here we go.
This week, Democrats offered a sensible way out. Fund the government for another month to give appropriators more time to do their jobs. Republicans rejected this proposal outright. Why did they reject it? Because Donald Trump doesn't want the appropriators to do their job. He wants full control over government spending. He isn't the first president who wants this, but he's the first president to cower his party into submission, so that Republican rejection leads us to a decision. That Republican rejection leads us to a decision. And it's not really a decision, it's a Hobson's choice. Either proceed with the bill before us or risk Donald Trump throwing America into the chaos of a shutdown. This, in my view, is no choice at all. While the CR bill is very bad, the potential for a shutdown has consequences for America that are much, much worse. For sure, the Republican bill is a terrible option.
Okay, pause right here, please. So here's what I want you guys to listen. I want you guys to pay attention to this, okay? By the way, thank you, all the new members and all the support. Thank you. I'm going to shout you guys out at the end. Make sure we keep track of that, producers, because I want to shout these people out. You know why? Because it is really important that you are supporting independent media, and I thank you and I love you for it. So hit the thumbs up, hit the like, subscribe. The membership button is at the top of the comment. The chat. Make sure you become a member. It's important to us. And smash the screen if you're on TikTok. So thank you so much for joining. Okay, so I want to, because maybe there's something we're not understanding, and maybe it would be worse for the country to shut down, for the government to shut down, or maybe it wouldn't. Now, I want to hear him out and tell me if you agree, but maybe you would not know the pain. Maybe he doesn't understand the pain that people are in right now, and that they're willing to do anything. They're willing to sacrifice a lot of things that I believe Chuck Schumer may not be aware of, but maybe it's something that we don't know or that you don't know as you're making these decisions. So please listen to Chuck Schumer, and then we're going to listen to him and see, what he has to say. Here it is.
It is not a clean CR. It is deeply partisan. It doesn't address far too many of this country's needs. But I believe allowing Donald Trump to take even much more power via a government shutdown is a far worse option. And before I explain why, let me be clear about one thing. No one on my side of the aisle wants a government shutdown. Members who support this CR do not want a government shutdown. Members who oppose this CR do not want a government shutdown. Members who oppose this CR want the Republicans to take their responsibilities more seriously and to negotiate spending bills that will address the many needs of the American people. I respect them for that. Unfortunately, though, this Republican Party is the party of Trump. As bad as passing the CR is, as I said, allowing Donald Trump to take even much more power via a government shutdown is a far worse option. I believe it is my job to make the best choice for the country, to minimize the harms to the American people. Therefore, I will vote to keep the government open and not shut it down. There is nobody in the world, nobody, who wants to shut the government down more than Donald Trump and more than Elon Musk. We should not give it to them. And make no mistake, Democrats will continue to fight what Donald Trump is doing.
Okay. After you guys have listened to that, do you agree with him? What do you think? Does he make a good point? Is it the senior member of the Senate? You remember him, the dynamic duo of him and Nancy Pelosi together? Is there something that Chuck knows, or is it time for Chuck to goes? Does Chuck know, or is it time to go? See, I came up with that. Does Chuck know, or is it time to go? Riddle me that. Okay? Now, here he is defending his case in a couple of different ways with Chris Hayes last night.
Voted en masse against this in the House. They lost only one vote, Jared Golden in Maine. I've seen a lot of House members, and across an ideological range, interestingly enough, urging the Senate to filibuster this, saying, look, this is existential about whether we control the power of the purse or not. We cannot essentially sign off on this DOGE unilateral arrogation of this power.
Yeah, look, I
Do they have it wrong?
I supported what the House did to vote against this bill universally, but that didn't cause a shutdown. It's different in the Senate. And I knew people were going to disagree with me, but I felt so strongly that the shutdown would be the greatest disaster we face with these arrogant autocrats that we had to avoid the shutdown and fight on many of the other things, every other issue that we have.
All right, Senator Chuck Schumer.
Excuse me. Okay. I mean, Chuck looks defeated. I think he thinks he knows. I think he thinks he knows. I don't know if he was right. Did he convince you on that one? I'm not so convinced. I'm not so convinced on that one. Thumbs up, please, everyone. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, let's go, or likes, as we say. Let's go to the next. This is Chris Hayes, again, him defending himself.
There's the one thing they have leverage is in the Senate where you need a filibuster-proof majority on a cloture vote. That there's essentially an unconstitutional assault on the government right now. And I think you would agree with that,
There
right?
is.
An assault on the constitutional
These guys are the worst, and we got to fight them every step of the way. As we say in Brooklyn, Chris, every effing step of the way.
But look, Russ Vaughn is already telling people, but he's telling people on the floor, we are not even going to listen to this CR. This is a piece of paper that we will impound and rip up the moment it's passed. If that's the case, how is voting for cloture not essentially an imprimatur on the very same assault on the constitutional order?
They're already, even without this CR, they're already doing it.
Right.
Okay? They did it to the Department of Education. But I can tell you, I've been through shutdowns before. It's not that this CR is good. It's not that voting for it is good. It's horrible. But the alternative is worse. And
the alternative is worse. Is the alternative worse? Because one of them, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is a little bit of a short term, little bit of a pain short term, and one of it is like a long term pain. Did he convince you there? Okay, let's see if he can convince you again.
The AFG union, which is the largest union representing federal workers, they won a big victory today in federal court about those probationary employees who were fired. They came out against the CR, which really surprised me, right? These are the people that seem to have the most skin in the game on precisely the terms you're enunciating. And they said, the fact that this CR has no protections that will actually be followed means that we can't support it. If the people whose livelihoods are on the line say you cannot go along with this thing, why are they wrong?
I understand why they're so upset with the CR, but I disagree with them because the shutdown would be worse for their employees. They could just eliminate huge portions of government workers automatically. They could eliminate programs automatically, which they can't do on the CR. The CR has certain spending, and they can screw around with it, and they will. These guys are sons of guns. They're going to do everything they can to hurt the government.
These sons of guns! Okay, so they can eliminate, what did he say, hundreds or thousands, whatever, of federal workers. They're already doing that. And they don't care. Chuck, Senator, over and over and over. judges have said you need to reinstate these people. It's unconstitutional what they're doing. And they're like, well, I don't care. Okay, Judge. GTFO. So then, Chuck Schumer, what is your point? He's right. Trump does not want a shutdown. Who just said that? Trump doesn't want to shut down. He wants to destroy our current government, says Mark Siegel. And then someone said something after that that I thought, because I'm asking you if you agree. Let's see what happened. Who was the next one that you had up about as much as I didn't want to shut down? Something about wisdom, someone said. Thank you, Mark Spiegel, for that. But
yeah, I'm trying to find. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. As much as I wanted a shutdown, we'll see if wisdom prevailed. Okay. I'm willing. That's what I said. I'm willing to perhaps. That's our last Schumer, right?
Yes.
That's the last Schumer. Okay. Now, you tell me again, I want to know, did he convince you of anything? Now, this is the energy on the other side that people said that they want. This is Bernie Sanders saying, I'm going to vote no, voting no.
What is your position on this?
I'm strongly going to vote no. I think the American people are sick and tired of Elon Musk, the richest guy in the world, running around slashing Social Security, veterans programs that Republicans are moving for massive tax breaks for the rich and cutting Medicaid and nutrition, moving us to oligarchy and authoritarianism. You got to draw a line. And I think the American people are prepared to stand with those of us who say that, you know what, we're a government of the people, by the people, for the people, not the oligarchy. And we're not going to give tax breaks to billionaires and take food away from hungry kids. You got to stand up. You got to fight back. You got to go into the streets. You got to rally the American people. I think you can win millions of people, Republicans, Democrats, independents, who really do not like the direction in which this country is now going.
Is that the energy that people need? Bernie's like, nope. Bernie's sick and tired. Now, look, Bernie is an old head too. That's the saying. I don't mean that they're old, because when people say I'm an old head, it means I've been around for a while. Bernie's old school. He's been around. I don't know if it's as long as Chuck Schumer, but he's been around. Obviously, I think he may be older. They're neck and neck, whatever they are. But I'm just saying, is that the energy that you want right now? Someone who's going to fight, someone who's going to say, look, we're in it here. All right, so we're in it. Here we go. And you know what? This is a fight for America. And so the people need to tell us what they want. I believe the people are behind us. I believe that they want us to fight. I believe that the 80 million people who voted Democrat last time, that they want this. And if we don't, then we are done. We are cooked as a party. If we don't stand together, we are cooked. And I think that they're cooked now. Everyone is saying the Democrats are weak, the Democrats are weak, the Democrats are weak. More Bernie Sanders. Is this the energy you want and need?
That assumes that millions of people are not standing up and saying, you know what? We're a democracy, not an authoritarian society. Don't undo the Constitution of the United States. You're not going to throw 83.
Pause. Okay. Listen to what Bernie is saying. You know, Bernie is like always, I mean, again, the policies that when Bernie was running and Hillary was running, I was like, I don't know about those policies. I don't know about that. But people were saying, and this is the progressive wing of the party. Bernie always has his finger on the pulse. Bernie can read the room. Bernie is fighting. I'm just saying, because I remember I told you guys in 2016 went to the Republican convention and whatever. Everybody hated Donald Trump, whatever. They said he'll never be our president. The Republican, after the Access Hollywood, go to the convention, everybody's Trump. Republicans falling in line. Went to the Democratic convention. You go, everybody at the Democratic convention after Hillary Clinton was the nominee screaming, not everybody, a lot of folks screaming, Bernie, 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 like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. If there was a way to, you could have brought Bernie and Hillary together, winning, I think. But Bernie always has his finger on the pulse. I'm an independent too, April Newell. I'm an independent too, but I like this energy. Here it is. Keep going. Actually, Andy, play it from the beginning. Guys, are you guys listening? I want to make sure to turn the volume up, okay? And then as you're turning the volume up, make sure you hit the thumbs up, okay? Thank you for your support, I guess, because we have incredible engagement, and I want the engagement to get even bigger for people to take part in this conversation, because I want to know what the pulse of the people is today. And I'm actually going out with my camera crew to talk to people to see how they feel about this and about Democrats acquiescing, like in a little bit, because I want to know. So please listen to Bernie Sanders. Here it is.
That assumes that millions of people are not standing up and saying, you know what? We're a democracy, not an authoritarian society. Don't undo the Constitution of the United States. You're not going to throw 83,000 workers off the Veterans Administration. You're not going to cut the Social Security staff so that elderly people will die while they're waiting to get the benefits that they paid into. You're not going to take food away from hungry kids. If you do nothing, you sit back and you say it is going to be terrible. And that's right. A shutdown will be terrible. But our job is to put the onus on the Republican president, the Republican House, the Republican Senate, the people who control the government. They are responsible. They've acted in an undemocratic, unprecedented, unilateral way. They've given us an offer, take it or leave it. That ain't the way democracy works.
Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say that? It's not the reason that the government is shut down is really not because of us. It's because of them. Democrats, man, read the room. Read the room. Over on the CNN. By the way, thank you, LC, for your generous support of independent media. It says, let's read this. Schumer, that's very generous of you. Thank you. Schumer has gotten on my last nerve. He talks as if we're in the 50s and 60s. I just called his office. You'll get a voicemail venting my displeasure at him and his constituent. He needs to I guess you mean go home and rest and allow the other warriors to fight for the people. Thank you, LC. Let me go some of these before I lose it. Here is KJ Crafts. Bernie fights for the people, not a party. Thank you for your generous support, KJ, of Independent Media. Welcome to the Lemon Nation. She is Mike. Welcome to all of our new members. Welcome, Phyllis Johnson, to the Lemon Nation. I appreciate your support as well. Let's see. Welcome, Phyllis Johnson. Yes. Welcome to James Linton, a new member of the Lemon Nation. And there were others who I missed. I'm sorry, I should probably shout you out a little bit earlier because then I kind of lose it. If there are others I need to shout out, and other folks who did super stickers or all that, let me know. Producers. Chloe Albert's Revenge. Thank you for your support. Oh, I get it now. Poor Chuck. He doesn't know what fight means. Thank you for that, for the support. And welcome to all of our new members. Okay, so lawmakers are appearing over on the CNN. I think there are two. Let's see what we have here. There are two lawmakers. There are two of them. Lawmakers are over on the CNN, and they're talking to my pal, Kate Baldwin. Over on the CNN. Let's play it. I think it's Senator Murphy.
Take a look at history and how you lose your republics. And what you see is acquiescence from Congress. That means an authoritarian can concentrate all power in the executive. And right now we have acquiescence from the House Republicans, from the Senate Republicans. The House Democrats don't have leverage. We are the ones, the Senate Democrats, who have leverage to say no. And we have leverage every single day to put up a bill and say, let's reopen the government. We have leverage every single day to point out the damage being done and realize that by basically saying we are helping this current bill being put in place, we are in essence saying that everything that happens now, as Trump goes forward with a slush fund bill where he can use it as a tool against blue states and for red states.
So there we go. That's Senator Merkley. Chuck, sup, bruh? Senator Merkley again on the CNN.
said that you were,
Good
to
be
quote
with
you, a hell no yesterday on voting for the GOP bill. Chuck Schumer, he's now going to vote for it. Where are you on this today?
I am even more hell no. You don't stop a bully by handing over your lunch money, and you don't stop a tyrant by giving them more power. And that is exactly what this House Republican spending bill does.
But here's a quote from Schumer. While the CR is very bad, the potential for a shutdown has consequences for America that are much, much worse. You say he's wrong then?
Well, we come with a very different point of view. And some of the concerns that have been expressed are, one, that Democrats will be blamed if there is a shutdown. I think that's absolutely wrong. Republicans control the House. They control the Senate. They control the Oval Office. They'd be voting against our proposal to keep the government open. So I think that America would understand that this is a Republican shutdown if there's a shutdown.
So everyone seems to get the message and everyone seems to understand except for Chuck Schumer. Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley over on the CNN talking to the Wolf Blitzer.
Social, President Trump praised Senator Schumer for having the, quote, guts to do the right thing.
Let me just this. So before I do this, halt on this one, Andy. I just want to show. Let's put this up. This is I think it's a post from Donald Trump. Okay. And this is what I think she's reacting to. So it's a post from Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is saying, congratulations to Chuck Schumer for doing the right thing. Took guts and courage. The big tax cuts, LA fire fix, debt ceiling bill, and so much more is coming. We should all work together on that very dangerous situation. A non-pass would be a country disaster. Approval will lead us to new heights. Again, really good and smart move by Senator Schumer. This could lead to something big for the USA, a whole new direction and beginning. Exclamation point, DJT. Now, you're getting a pat on the head from Donald Trump. How do you guys feel about that? Again, thank you very much. Someone on TikTok said, wow, you guys on TikTok are going crazy. I can't even get saying it, when you have Trump's praise, something is wrong, says Belladonna. So there we go. Now, Ayanna Pressley responding to the praise by Donald Trump over with the Wolf Blitzer. Here it is.
Social, President Trump praised Senator Schumer for having the, quote, guts to do the right thing, calling his support of the spending bill a smart move. How will that sit, you think, with House Democrats?
Well, again, I don't think we should be moving in any way to elicit a praise from Donald Trump, who has no respect for Congress and the power of the purse, who is by the hour rolling out proposals and executive actions that are lawless and that are callous. We do not want to be praised by Donald Trump. This is a hostile government takeover. He is a dictator. And what do you meet a dictator with? Defiance. The Democrats can't only be the adults in the room. We have to be the fighters too. And that is the message that we are hearing every day from our constituents and what they want to see from us in this moment. We have to be exhaustive and leveraging every tool available in their defense.
Okay. I don't know what let's see. Do we have any more Democrats? Is this Jack? Is this a Democrat? Producers? What is Jack Schlossberg saying here?
Schlossberg is sort of just satirizing the Schumer's decision. It's funny.
And what about Sam Stein and Tim Miller?
That is a good short conversation about Mahmoud Khalil and sort of their read on the government's actions there.
Okay, let's listen to Jack for a little bit, and then I want to go and I'm going to show you where the real outrage and the real fight is. And it may not be among some of these folks, maybe Democrats, but it is not in Washington with Washington Democrats. So are you guys ready? So stay tuned. Yeah, call your friends and family, and I'm going to show you where the real fight is happening in this country. First, Jack Schlossberg.
My message to Donald is this. If you want to mess with the Democratic Party, you should continue doing so because we will cave in. At the end of the day, We don't mean anything that we're saying about authoritarianism or fascism. We're just upset. We're just very, very upset about irrational things. Let's work together. I can trust you, Donald, can't I? That's why I voted yes to work with the Republicans, because I understand them better than they do and better than you do. I've been here a long time, and let me tell you, it's my responsibility to understand what's going on, because a lot of you young people are confused. It's not your fault. I was young. I got excited too. Anyway, just follow me because I know exactly what I am doing.
I mean, I didn't know what it was, but I mean, he's not wrong. Do you think that's where we are? Do you think that's where we are? Do you think Democrats need to fight?
Yes, big time.
That's it. That's producer Chris here, and we're going out to talk to the people in just minutes. I want to know what's happening on the streets. Now, I've been telling you that the fight is there, but the fight is not with the Democratic folks who are in Washington. The fight is not with the Democrats, the weak Democrats in Washington. Is the Republican Party going to save us from MAGA? That is a serious question, okay? Sit down, rest, take your shoes off. Y'all come back now, you hear? No, I want you to listen to this, because this is, now you know, let me set this up. They were having these town halls, Republicans around the country, and they weren't hearing what they thought they would hear. They're getting a lot of guff from a lot of people. And so they're like, ooh, man. Donald Trump said it was fake. It was set up as the Democrats. These are conservative Republican districts. It's not fake. It's not set up. Now, this is North Carolina. There was one lawmaker there, one congressman, who said, you know what? I'm going to hold a town hall. At least he held a town hall. He actually did not seem very astute. But I want you to listen to this town hall. It's long, but you're going to love it. Trust me. Are the Republicans going to save us from MAGA, the MAGA nation that we are becoming? All right. There's some places here the audio is not great, but then it gets steadier as it goes along. Okay, let's go.
So to be clear, I deeply value the contributions that federal employees make every day to keep America running and to deliver important services. For example, folks at the National Weather Service office put out critical and timely warnings ahead of Helene's destruction in western North Carolina, saving potentially thousands of lives in the process. However, it is an unavoidable reality that all departments and agencies under the federal government need to run more efficiently. And I support current efforts to identify those opportunities for making the taxpayers' dollars go farther. I will be glad to answer your questions over the time that we have remaining. I'd just like to remind you all that the disruptions are only allowing us to take less questions. I'd rather take more. And I encourage you, if we can't get to all of your questions tonight, to go onto my website, www.edwards.house.gov.
All right, just listening into that heated exchange as an individual had to be led out of the room. You could hear him shout, talking about veterans.
That is, you can turn it down a little bit. That is the news report, right?
By DOGE, and of course this town hall.
So that the first person had to be let out of the room, and I would imagine, you can take it down now, Andy. I would imagine that because of the words that he was saying, that they did not want you to hear. But this gentleman, or actually this representative, was agreeing with what was happening in Washington with the Trump folks and the DOGE folks, and and his very own people in his district said, "You're out of your mind. Out of your mind." Let's listen to one. I'm not sure exactly what the lady with the gray hair. Let's listen to that one.
Let me see.
I'll put it up. I got it. I got it, Andy. I'll put it up.
Oh, okay.
Hey, this has been fun. I appreciate the opportunity to spend the last
take something away.
89 minutes with you.
All right.
I really appreciate the energy that you brought. You
know what? This is the end. Let's play because I'm not sure.
The contradiction.
I'm going to remove this one, and I'm going to go to the other one. Okay.
Since maybe a faction in this room of folks that might not have voted for President Trump, and I'll say that I happen to believe very much that President Trump supports our Constitution. And I sleep good at night knowing that every vote that I cast is in support of our Constitution and your freedoms and limited government.
Donald Trump is following the Constitution when he is what? Defying federal judges who tell him to reinstate thousands of federal workers. When he is ignoring the legislative branch, when he's ignoring the normal levers of government. Is that following the Constitution? Wait, there's more.
Do you support the annexation of Canada and/or Greenland? And this is a yes or no question. I don't want you to wander off into the woods. I don't want to hear about your latest week in your office. Okay, so I'm trying to get your opinion on this as a yes or no. Do you support Trump on annexing Canada or Greenland? And do you like the way he treats the premier or the president of Canada, calling him governor? Is that the way you do as a diplomat? Is that the way the United States should act to our closest neighbors? You know, is this, and I've still got a little more time. Do you enjoy the way he's tried to extort minerals from the Ukraine? Do you like bullying people that need your help? Do you go for kicking the guy when he's down? Do you support Trump in these things? And this is a yes or no.
The no's in there. Let me answer the first one, and then there was one that really stuck out that I'd like to also answer. I believe your first question that you wanted yes or no is, do I support annexing Greenland and Canada? The short answer to that is no, I do not. There was another question in there. I think it was, do I support a deal? I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. A deal with Ukraine in obtaining minerals and helping the United States taxpayer recoup the $140 billion or so that we've sent over there? The answer is yes, I do support that.
We'll go to our next.
So, where are our lawmakers with questions like that? Where are the Democratic lawmakers? I know Bernie Sanders is holding town halls around the country, bipartisan town halls. For Democrats to understand, when I say reading the room, they're not reading the room. This is what people want on the other side. Now, there are Republicans, I believe, and Democrats in that room in his district, but this is a far-right district. And so Democrats should be doing the same thing in their districts, and perhaps they would understand, maybe now that they have gone home, that Congress, that the leader Johnson, Mike Johnson, has sent him home, maybe they'll figure it out, but it's too late because the votes are already in. Let's see how that town hall ended.
Opinions from time to time, the passion that I hear, the patriotism that I sense in this room, and I hope that you will certainly stay engaged with my office and all of those folks that are elected to represent you. Good night. God bless you all.
So those were the folks. Someone said, Don, you need to get MAGA grandma on. We had MAGA grandma on. Search. We have MAGA grandma months ago. We can bring her back if you want. I forget who's saying it. But is that the energy? Is that what's needed? And these are in Republican districts. So Democrats, what are you doing? I want to play one more thing for you. Oh, wait, is there another one? Do I have another one that I have not run, Andy?
We have two more. One about Ukraine, one about DOGE.
All right, let's look at Ukraine first, because we have people in the chat who are saying, what about Ukraine? Play it, please.
It's from Kathleen, zip code 28804. Why do you support a president that cares nothing about NATO, Ukraine, and democracy, but cares about Putin and other dictators?
Actually, I believe that the president is very supportive of Ukraine. I believe the president recognizes that Putin is a murderous dictator.
That man is delusional. He has not said that he's a dictator at all. He said, I believe he recognizes, Donald Trump hasn't said that. He said that Volodymyr Zelensky is that. Again, these people, these lawmakers are delusional. One more from the town hall.
Even before President Trump was elected, there were people working inside these agencies that had access, that were required access to the information. You should also know that those employees and folks that serve with DOGE have gone through the same exact security screens as everyone else. So, yeah. Somebody's going to be in charge of looking at those. His guy's name just happens to be Elon Musk right now. So, are we through taking questions?
We're through with these questions.
Are we through taking questions? Because I can't take much more of this shit. Get me out of here. Oh, my gosh. So that's where we are. Look, at least he took the questions. I don't think they'll be taking any more questions. But if they do, we're going to be there. He's delusional, but you're right. Someone in the chat says he brought the energy. He really did bring, that crowd brought the energy. That crowd brought the energy. That's where we are right now. And look, I hate to say, Chuck Schumer, get out, but a lot of folks are saying, Chuck, it's time for you to go. It's time for the old leadership to bring in the new leadership. It's time for a new Democratic Party. And I can't say that I disagree with them that it's time for something new. I don't know if you should be jettisoning everybody, the wisdom and the people who know how the government works. I don't think you should be doing that. But I do think it's time for some youth and vigor and energy. And I think it's time for the Democrats to read the room. Perhaps the Democrats want the country shut down. Again, I'm not saying it should be, but maybe they want it. Maybe they believe that you should call their bluff, or you should take it to the brink, or this is the moment where we make or break our country. Now, I kind of believe that's where we are. This is where this one, I think this one is and should have been for all the marbles. And if they go along with this, I do think that it's over. Because if they don't go along with it, okay, people are going to get mad, and there's going to be all that kind of stuff. But Democrats, you're cooked. You are cooked. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the likes. The membership link is at the top of the chat. And also subscribe, please. It's right at the bottom of the screen, right below or right next to the Don Lemon Show logo. It is important because we need to keep independent media streaming and going so that we can speak freely like this without corporate influence. Support all the independent media folks out there. Our memberships are extremely reasonable, so make sure you become one. Let me shout some people out before I get out of here. Because I got a lot to do today. Producer Chris is sitting over here going, come on, bro, let's go. Tasha, welcome to the Lemonation. Big Brother Bob, welcome to the Lemonation. Michelle Lane, welcome to the Lemonation. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Oh, Ellie, thank you. Suzanne, thank you. Welcome. Night Owl, welcome to the Lemonation. Brown Girl Gone Gray, welcome to the Lemonation. Brown Girl Gone Gray says, Debbie Bermudez, welcome. Brown Girl says, it's time to put politeness aside. We are losing. It is going to cost us our democracy. Yes, thank you for that. Karen Moore, welcome. Midnight Skies, welcome. All of our new members, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Lemonation. Okay? Love and peace, welcome. And we welcome some love and peace. I'm not sure how much we have. Stacy Hall, welcome to the Lemonation. So hit the thumbs up on your way out. We appreciate you joining us. I'm going to see you back here at 5 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to have one heck of a show. You know, we do our sour lemon today. And I'm going to be joined by comedian Judy Gold, who is also a political commentator and an activist. And we'll hear what she has to say. And whatever the breaking news is. If there's big breaking news, then, you know, we'll do something different. But here we go, folks. You got to fight for your country. Call your lawmakers. Hold them to account. And I'll see you back here at 5 p.m. Eastern, live. If you want to be engaged, you want to know what's going on, we'll see it live. And then at 2 o'clock, who is it? Monique today that we have? It's going to drop something at 2. So,
yes. Week with Monique.
This week with Monique. Okay. Oh, wait, Hannah, thank you for becoming a member. So here's the thing. As I say, every time I leave this live stream, I appreciate your support. I love that you're helping us to build this. I love it. You guys already know. I love it when you start putting it in the chat. You guys know what I'm going to say, right? You ready? Are you guys ready? You guys ready? It's in the chat. Turn this TV off. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never, ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support.